Welcome to the Songwriter Connection podcast, where we look at the craft of songwriting through the eyes of the songwriter. Each week, we make a connection with a music maker, listen to their songs, and hear their stories. From Nashville, Tennessee, here's your host, Dave Lenihan.
Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate the listen. And the way you're spreading it around, man, that is really something. You're helping to make us the fastest growing music interview podcast right now, and that's incredible. So if you would, go over to YouTube and like and subscribe. Find us on the socials. Yeah, we've got a Facebook page. I am on Instagram and Twitter as well, Dave Lenihan. Check it out. And we appreciate the comments, too. Getting a lot of great comments, especially on the iTunes podcast. But wherever you get your podcast, you can comment, like, subscribe. And we do appreciate that. We talk about how we've done music on this show from all the genres. They're all represented, and you know about my feeling about putting people in little boxes, but we're coming back to the Nashville music scene today with an act that really says they lean more towards Americana, and I gotta tell you, I love them. It's a husband and wife team, and every time I see them, I'm totally entertained, and they entertain a lot of folks in this town, and I'm just really happy to have them. It's Janet and Charles Cox. How are you?
Oh my gosh, Dave, thanks so much for having us. Wow, what a build-up.
Welcome to the show.
Charles, I hope we're on our A game today.
Yeah,
oh no.
Oh, you were talking about somebody else for me.
I know, I was like, somebody else?
No, it was you. It was always you. When I first came to town, met you with Mark Allen Barnett, who's been on the show and is going to be on the show here coming up in a few weeks. And we saw you, and we just loved it. And you had us in stitches and laughing and having a good time. And that's what you do. You entertain. So,
well, thank you.
Yeah.
We'd like to think we do that.
Yes,
I don't know. It's questionable some nights.
Oh, I know. I doubt it. I've never seen a night where it was questionable. So why don't we start with the song? Charles, what do you think? What do you guys want to do?
Well,
This is a song that it's about being married. And it's about not just being married. It's about when you're first dating someone and when you meet someone, you start falling in love and everything. Don't bring up your past.
don't
probably
share too
ask
much.
Yeah.
You know how she'll ask you, to compare her to others.
Yeah, the whole "Am I your first?
Oh,
don't even go there with it. We're 40.
It's good advice.
That's when you get a bad memory. I don't remember dating anyone else before you, darling. You're it.
See, that's perfect.
I was
right
waiting for you, only for you.
There.
Yeah.
Well, that's what this song is about.
Well, that's cool. Very good.
She used to date a masseuse, but he rubbed her the wrong way. She used to date a magician. He disappeared one day. She set her sights on a sailor until he anchored away. Hey, I'm just saying, she's got rotten taste in men.
I guess that's why I married him. He used to date a contortionist, but she tied him up in knots. He dated a hairstylist. Now this is all the hair he's got. I mean, I realize this is a podcast and you can't see, but there's not much there. He once dated a nymphomaniac. Said he couldn't find her damn G-spot. He might not be a Casanova, but that's okay.
I'm a regular gee-whiz today. I married her.
He married me,
And we lived together ever after
for the most part.
happily. If we had to do it all again, we'd do the same damn thing. I'd marry her.
He'd marry me.
Sometimes it seems like someone else is pulling all our strings. Why would a woman like this love a man like me?
I've wondered the same damn thing. Oh Lord, it is not because
Well, I
of that.
married her.
He married me.
And we living together ever after
For the most part.
happily. She's the apple of my eye.
He's a cantankerous old cuss, but I'd still marry him.
She'd marry me again. We'd marry us.
I do.
Me too.
What a beautiful love song.
Is that what it is?
I love songs.
Close as we get right there.
I'm fighting back the tears. That's fantastic. How long have you been married? Can I ask?
Let's see. This August will be 40 years.
40 years.
Oh, my God.
Congratulations.
40 long years.
Sounds really long. Sounds really long when you say it like that.
You know, I saw you two at the Commodore one night, and you just killed me. I remember you were going to play, I don't know if it was this song you were playing, and Charles goes, we've been married for 11 wonderful years. And you said, that's not true. We've been married for 30, whatever it was.
No, actually,
and he said, well, and 11 of them were wonderful.
Yeah, well, it's an old one, but good.
Well, actually, I've been married 47 years, but we don't talk about that.
We don't talk
Previous life with a previous wife. You know, how that goes,
I see. So that's where that comes in about, you don't tell them too much.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
I vaguely remember there was a person before her. But,
So tell us how you got together. Did you meet the old-fashioned way in a bar? That's what everybody wants to know.
We met in a bar.
Did you?
So I was coming off of a bad breakup. This guy, I found out he was a drug dealer, and I actually went to him and said, it's either me or the drugs, and he laughed. And I said, okay, well, I guess I got my answer. So I went home in my lime green tube top and my overalls.
Lime green tube top.
Yeah,
that was hot.
That was a long time ago. Yeah,
it was hot.
I was very stylish back then.
Yeah.
And so I sat in my room for about 3 weeks, and then a friend came in and she said, "This is a wonderful band playing at the Carolina Opry House back in Greenville, North Carolina, named Ambush, and they're from the Raleigh area, and you should come hear them. They're so good." And I'm like, "No, I don't want to go anywhere, do anything. My life's over. My life's a living hell." And so I didn't even put on makeup. I went out. I think I still had on that green tube top, and maybe not. Anyway, went out to Carolina Opry House, and was a great club at the time. It was it was back during Urban Cowboy, and they had the Bull in one room. It was just a huge venue, and
everybody had cowboy hats, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And they came out on stage, and literally when he walked out, it just something. He had not even opened his mouth, and I was like, "Oh, this is the guy for me, maybe." And then, he starts playing, and they're really good. And then he comes and sits at the table during break, and I'm like, "Later, Tater." And I was like, "I'm not going to sit here." So I'm playing a little hard to get.
A little hard to get, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I like that.
You like that?
Yes, I did. You know the old Groucho Marx saying, "I never belonged to a club that would actually have me as a member." So when she walked off, I was like, "Ooh."
So Ambush, were you the front man then?
Yeah.
What kind of stuff were you doing?
Well, the same stuff they do now. They do. Waylon and Willie and David Allen Coe.
Never goes out of style.
It never goes out of style.
Yeah. They're a great band.
Now, were you doing original music all then? Were you writing some?
Yeah, we did some stuff, and we recorded in Muscle Shoals.
No kidding, Muscle Shoals.
In Spartanburg, there was a big recording studio there that Marshall Tucker owned, and we did a single there, and
the band
released
Marshall
that.
Tucker.
Yeah. 45. Remember those days?
I do remember them. Oh, time. In fact, an interesting trivia question: Marshall Tucker. You know where they got their name? I just found this out recently. I was talking about it on the radio. They were trying to figure out a name for the band, and they found a card, or I think it was a keychain with a piano tuner's name and number. If you ever need your piano tune, and that piano tuner was Marshall Tucker, and they went, "Oh, that'd be a good name for a band." So anyway, there you go. But I digress.
I wish I had been a piano tuner with that. Janet Cox band. Wow.
The Janet Cox band, or just be Janet Cox. Right? Yeah. There's Dewey Cox. Any relation?
No relation that I know of.
Anyway, I'm sorry. You were saying
we after we met each other, the band breaks up finally because I told her.
You meet her, and the next thing you know, the band breaks.
She broke the band up entirely.
No, and that is not. He skipped about 2 years. He skipped 2 whole years where I was at a band, he was on a band, and we were always on the road, and we never saw each other, and it was just awful because we were like in opposite places, and so then. I finally quit the band, and I actually get a real job, like a grown up, and then he finally quits the band.
But we moved back to her hometown, and her mother, I was trying to find a job with the band going, and her mother knew someone at a TV station.
Okay.
And it turned out he went to UNC, University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill.
Okay.
And I did also before I became a musician.
So you had that in common.
And aspiring to make no money at all.
Yeah.
But that got me a job there, an interview anyway. And then the guy told me, you cut your hair and shave your beard and I will hire you. And actually go get a suit that didn't have a Western cut to it.
Now, what town was this, Charles?
This is 83, 82, right in there.
In what town?
It was Washington, North Carolina.
Washington, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay.
The original Washington. I feel compelled to say that every time I say
It
Washington,
is?
North Carolina. It is the very first
gotta
city
be a
or
story
town in Washington, in the United States, ever named Washington.
No
and there's a
kidding.
gazillion of them now. So
Wow. But that was the first.
very first.
How about
But
that?
my mother-in-law got me the interview because she wanted me to have a job.
That's nice. So I was at my job. I was teaching dance, and I came home from work. Well, this was way back before cell phones, and I'm just like, he went for that job interview today. I sure hope he gets the job because we're starving and it would be nice to have heat and food. And I get home and I walk in and there's this clean-shaven, short-haired man. I had never seen his face before.
Oh, my.
And my first instinct was to cry. And I don't know why. I think it was just because
I get a lot of that.
it was so different. It was just he was looked entirely different. I'm like, who is this man? This is so crazy.
You've always had a way with women, huh?
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it.
But I got used to it real quick when he got that first paycheck. I was like, yeah, baby,
Yeah, baby.
shave that mess off. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, you must have been a very good salesman. Yeah. Must
Oh,
have
yeah.
been.
Well, I think so. She was my best sales job, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
She was? Yeah. You should tell me you'd write the commercials and she would star in them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had, in fact, it was a family affair once my daughter got up some age, and she was going to school to be an actor. And she and the other people in the department, I would have them be in my commercials all the time. And so it became a family affair. We became known as the Cox Family Players.
You get a lot of good talent for Starbucks cards. They're starving theater students.
For
They're
Starbucks
like, they're so happy. Free coffee, yeah, baby.
Yeah, man.
I'm
yeah.
in.
That's addictive, that Starbucks stuff. Man. Absolutely. So could you play another song for us?
Sure.
Just love the stuff you do. Janet and Charles Cox are our guests on the Songwriter Connection podcast, and they are just one of a kind. Love these guys.
Thank you, Dave. This is a song truly about Nashville.
All right.
Bands can't lay down a country groove like they did back in the day.
First time I heard Emmylou, she blew me away.
George and Merle wrote drinking songs, that was what they were born to do.
Now songs are written by committee and they just don't ring true. You gotta live it to write it, oh you'll write it all wrong. They say 3 chords and the truth are all you need to write a song. So bartender, set 'em up, smoke 'em if you got 'em. Hey, Nashville is a drinking town with a music problem. Nobody can get a deal in Nashville anymore. Music row is closed, girls, you can't get in the door.
Well, they'll hire you down on Broadway, sing for drinks and tips.
Tomorrow's stars scratch out a living playing other people's hits. You gotta live it to write it, oh you'll write it all wrong. They say 3 chords and the truth are all you need to write a song. So bartender, set 'em up, smoke 'em if you got 'em. Hey, Nashville is a drinking town with a music problem. There's a lot of balls in Nashville. Just one left on Music Row,
A little hole in the wall.
where all the riders go.
Well, they'll idle there for hours
And toast what used to be.
and the songs that built this city are played daily there for free. You gotta live it, write it, or you'll write it all wrong. They say 3 chords and the truth are all you need to write bottom. Hey, Nashville is a drinking town. They're about to tear the whole thing down. Nashville is a drinking town with a music problem.
2, 3, 4.
A music problem.
Yeah.
A music problem.
Oh, we even had a little George Jones in there. Love it. Fantastic.
Got to do that.
Jen and Charles Cox is our guest. This is the Songwriter Connection podcast. You got to live it to write it.
Yeah,
There
baby.
you go.
It's true, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Let's talk about your songwriting and how you do it and how you come up with these ideas and what's your process? What's your thoughts on that? Your philosophy.
Well, just like everybody else, we walk around town with our cell phone on the ready for somebody to say something that might even possibly be it.
Yeah. What'd you say? Hold on. I got to write that down. He's speaking to my phone. Yeah, I hear you.
And a lot of it comes that way, and we just sit and start expanding on that. I like writing from an early age. I've always liked writing funny songs because my heroes are like Roger Miller and
Great
John Prine is like there's no one else like him. He can write
Loud
funny.
Wainwright III.
Yeah.
Loud Wainwright III is like a genius.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody knows Dead Skunk in the Middle of the Road.
But
He's got, I bet he's got 30 albums, and they're all great, introspective stuff. So he can write from the heart, or he can write just satire.
This crazy dark comedy. He's so
amazing.
great.
He really is. Yeah.
And Jason Isbell, who doesn't love him?
He's my favorite right now. I think my favorite writer right now.
Yeah, we've kind of gotten into that. We gave each other a record player for Christmas, and now we've got all these old albums we put
Well, we
out.
don't have two record players. We both have one record player.
Well, we gave each. Yeah, okay, whatever. Oh my God.
I was an English
Semantics.
major. I'm sorry. I can't help.
My life is a living hell. You see what I go through? You see what
I see where you're coming from.
But anyway, I most of the time I will sit down and because she didn't play guitar. She can play guitar. She knows all the chords, but she doesn't want to mess her fingers up.
Well, then it hurts.
Well, sure, yeah. And you just do the open tuning like Dolly, and you just have one
There
finger.
you go.
So there
and
you
I can
go.
still have fingernails and do that. So.
See, there you go. Yeah.
She could do that. But it's pretty much like.
Well, one of us will come up with like the hook, and then then most of the time he'll start and he'll kind of get a rough draft, and then he'll say, "Come in," and I'll go like, "Yes, no, yes, no," and then we just kind of it just starts kind of
Well, I've become a real fan of writing the lyric first, like a poem.
Yeah.
And then trying to put music to that because I found it gets me out of my comfort zone with my guitar and the chords I always like to play.
Yes.
It makes me find chords that go with the song in my head now.
Well, he learned to play
That's a real good point.
by listening to John Prine, and so his picking style sounds just like John Prine.
What a genius he was.
First songs that he ever wrote, everything sounded just like John Prine, would have written.
Yeah.
But he's learned to.
those
kinda
worst
get
people
up.
sound like
I
John
was getting ready to say he was doing pretty good. I thought it worked on me. So.
I got to know a songwriter named Kerry Kurt Phillips, who I hope someday we can get him on this show. He's just had so many big hits, big writer. And I remember sitting down with him, and he was kind of a mentor. He said he never touches the guitar until he's got the lyric just right.
Wow.
For that same reason. He said, I don't want the music to get in the way of what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Right, because you start patterning the lines to the music, and it's a whole lot better writing free form, a whole lot easier to write free form than it is to play within the limitations of a song. And because you're cutting lines out, or you're totally discarding a great idea because you can't figure out a way to get it to fit in that in that phrase.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, my songwriting session yesterday was just that. We were working on the chorus. We had an idea. We were working on the chorus first, and I said, let's get this lyric down first, and then we'll let that dictate where the melody is going. And that seemed to work. But I've done it a lot of different ways.
Yeah,
and
everybody
I'm
has
sure you
their
do
own
too,
way of doing
right?
it. So,
Some songs need that, and other songs start with a beautiful melody or a nice groove, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that song, just what we just did, that started off with that little, for some reason.
Yeah.
I just started messing around with that thing. And it had a kind of an Irish almost feel to it. Like a
little Celtic.
Mumford and Sons maybe thing happening there. And
Yeah.
I love them. And so I wrote that first and then kind of put the song to it.
Nice.
But there are other songs that are totally, most of the things I write now are, like I say, I write the lyric and then I write the song to it.
I got you. Jenny, you pretty much the same way. Do you ever?
I don't write by myself.
No?
I just bounce stuff off of him. We have a good rapport when we write together.
A true co-write
right.
situation.
And we're writing with other people, and that's really fun. That's something we've opened ourselves up to just recently.
Right.
I'd say within the last year and a half, we started writing with other people. We were just so comfortable writing together. And then the thought of that's a very personal thing. You bring somebody else in, and there's like, there's a little bit of anxiety, and you want to make sure that you're putting out a good product, and I don't know, there's just a lot of going into it, So.
If you're new to songwriting, and you may not know this, and I don't know if this is just a Nashville phenomenon or not, I really doubt it, but it's all about co-writing today. And sometimes it's hard. It's when you're first starting, it's kind of like dating, isn't it? It's
it absolutely is.
You're trying to see if the chemistry is right.
Yes.
And sometimes it isn't. Sometimes you just in the room, you do a lot of co-staring, but other times it's just magic that happens, and you feed off each other. But it was really something, because you do have to open up your heart, and it can be intimidating if you don't know the people.
It's so personal, because it
is.
And you're sitting there saying, should I say this? Does that sound goofy? It really, I think it.
We like it when it sounds goofy, though.
Well, I say a lot of goofy things, so it's probably
you're all
a good
about
thing.
the goof, right? Let's talk about your style, but I want to hear another song first. You got another one that you can share with us?
Well, this is one that it's one of the first songs I wrote several years ago, when I first came up with the idea of going away from writing the melodies first and then writing the lyric. And I wrote this lyric, and I had to put chords to it. And it ended up...
What song are you going to do?
Acute? No.
See,
Walk in my darling wife one day.
When you're
I don't know the titles in any of these
When you're
songs.
a duo, he is the one with the guitar. So 9 times out of 10, he just picks the song, and then he plays an intro like I'm just supposed to be like, bam, bam, on it, ma'am. Okay, all right, let me see. It'd be nice to have a heads up. Okay, so you're going to do... what is the name of that? Peter Loved the Lord?
Peter Loved the Lord.
Like Peter Loved the Lord. Now I know what we're doing.
I'm gonna walk up to my darling wife one day. I'm gonna look her in the eye, and then I'm gonna say, how can I miss you if you won't go away? That's what I'm gonna say to her one day. You might be thinking that I ain't got the guts, but like a squirrel who's been saving up his nuts, I've been waiting for the perfect time to get all in her face. If you think I'm bluffing, brother, you got another think coming. God darn it, I got lots of things to say, and I'm gonna walk right up and give that woman a piece of my mind one of these days.
That's what I thought. I have to tell him to simmer down at least once a day. The more he talks, the less he has to say. I wish he would say he hopes I go away. That'll be the last damn thing he ever gets to say. Each day he's looking a lot more like his dad, mixing stripes and polka dots and plaids. He smells old, he's always cold, and he's terrified of clowns. He might dress like Forrest Gump, but he swears that he didn't vote for Trump. He's like an old dog that I let hang around. He's suffering, but I just can't bring myself to put him down.
Well, we will leave each other, but we ain't. We could hate each other, but we can't. 'Cause I'm a Chevy
And I'm a Ford.
But the truth is, brother, that we love each other like Peter loves the Lord. Yeah, we would leave each other, but we won't. We could hate each other, but we don't.
He's a broke down old Chevy.
She's a frickin' Ford.
But the truth is, brother, that we love each other like Peter loves the Lord. Yeah, the truth is, brother, that we love each other like Peter loves the Lord. The truth is, brother, that we love each other.
Well, I mean, you said it before. You got to live it to write it. I try not to laugh too hard because your verse there about him was all about me too. Forget about it. Not what's so funny about that? Plaids and polka dots and stuff. Listen, we got to take a break. When we come back, more with Charles Enchanted Cox here on the Songwriter Connection.
Oh man, it sounds so.
You're listening to the Songwriter Connection, connecting with music makers and hearing their songs and stories. Now back to the show with your host, Dave Linehan.
Jen and Charles Cox, our guest on the Songwriter Connection podcast. Thanks for joining us. It's been so much fun. It really has.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
I love your style and the way you write and the way you perform and sing. And this is not a video podcast, but if you're ever in the Nashville area and you see these guys on a bill somewhere, you've got to go in and see them because they're just incredible live. And we're live today, but just around the dining room table like we'd like to do, and we thank you for that. So,
thank you.
How do you describe your style? How did you? I mean, you've played together for a long time, so developing this, there had to be some thought, and just curious about that.
No, really the one they thought.
We got nothing. I don't know what to tell you. Nothing, honey.
It just kind of fell in place.
Just being yourself. Yeah, man.
I
I don't know that we really had any direction. We're just kind of floundering around out there. And
Yeah.
I like writing funny songs.
Yeah.
She likes performing.
Yeah.
And so she tries to put together the she choreographs it to the extent that it's choreographed, and both what little movement I do on stage, and
you're kind of the straight man, right?
Yeah. It's like I'm George Burns,
which is not us in real life at all.
No?
I'm the straight person, and he's the jokester, so it's entirely
Really?
different. Yeah.
Wow.
Really.
Well, when I can get a word in.
That is a problem. I'll admit.
There it goes. Not that I said that.
I was getting ready to say.
Did I say that out loud? I didn't think I did. I can edit that out if I. But anyway, now you do a show on Sundays right down on Lower Broad, and you do Sunday mornings.
We do.
Hidden Nashville. Tell us about that and how long you've been doing that. And
Well, it's actually been going on for about 3 years, but we were shut down during COVID.
Right.
But we're back up and running strong now. It
Good.
is the only singer-songwriter showcase on Broadway, especially on Sunday morning or on the weekend. Sunday mornings we're from 10 to 12 at Whiskey Bent Saloon, and they're just the best people to work with. The club is so awesome, and their employees are great. It's a beautiful venue. The sound system is fantastic. A great reputation, and we're very pleased and proud to have a show down there. Like I said, Sunday mornings from 10 to 12 noon. It's called Hidden Nashville. We have hit songwriters, we have non-hit songwriters. We have just a great time on Sunday mornings.
did they have Bloody Marys? That's what I want to
Yes,
know.
they do.
Sir, they
It's one of
do.
the best Bloody Marys you'll ever taste.
Yeah.
Because 10 o'clock's early for a song.
Yeah, well, it's called a smoothie. It's called a regular smoothie.
Oh, I'm all for that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's smooth it right out, doesn't it?
So listen, if you're from out of town and you're coming into town, that's one place you can catch them. Sunday mornings, 10 to 2, down on Lower Broad.
10 to 12.
10 to 12, sorry, Lower Broad. And it's always a great show. So that's real good.
Thank you for that plug. We appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, all about the plug. Absolutely. Absolutely. How about another song, man? I just I can't get enough of you guys.
Well, you want to do the
Don't sing along.
well, when we first came to town years ago, everybody was like, you got to have a sing-along song because everybody loves a sing-along.
I
And,
think I know which song you're going to do, and I love it. I'm sorry.
we started off with, we wrote a few sing-along songs, and there was a problem with that because people wouldn't sing along. And so it was like, that's the
Which is
problem.
it's an essential part of a sing-along
Yeah,
song is that
it
you
really
sing
is.
along.
So
So I would get kind of perturbed.
we kind of revamped the whole idea and made it a stick it in your craw sing-along song. Okay?
You're going to love it.
Well, we sat down and wrote ourselves a song.
And we're singing that song for you right now.
We wanted it to be a sing-along, a sing-along.
but it occurred to us that you would not know how because...
Unless you're psychic, you don't know the words.
And the words that you be singing, they'd be all wrong.
Into the wind we'd all be spitting.
So we'd rather you just listen
to our please.
Don't
Sing a long song. Don't sing along.
Don't sing along.
Our new song.
Don't sing along.
Don't do it.
You'll just screw it up
by singing it all wrong.
DONTSING. Don't
sing along. Now this song that we have written, it's a jewel.
And you can buy it online at janandcharles.com.
All we're asking, please,
is that you not tease your tonsils by trying to sing along.
'Cause if we really wanted you to sing along, we'd have written, don't sing along. Ba, ba, ba.
Or
na 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 na. Hey hey hey, please sing along, sing our stupid song. But we didn't.
So please just listen
to our please not sing along
song.
Don't sing along.
Don't sing along.
My new song.
Don't sing along.
Don't do it.
You'll just screw it up
by singing it all wrong. DONTSING. Don't sing along.
Everybody.
Don't sing along.
Don't sing along
to our new song.
Don't sing along.
Don't do it.
You'll just screw it up
by singing it all wrong. DONTSING. Don't sing along. Just the men now. Don't sing along.
Ladies only. Don't
sing along.
Shut your pie hole, Dave. Don't
sing along.
I don't want to hear a peep out of you.
Oh, I heard a few people singing along there.
It's amazing how well they pay attention. Follow the rules for a change.
That's so clever. You want to get them to sing along? Tell them not to.
There you go.
It works.
I just love it. It works.
Yeah. You can see even the ones that don't, they want to sing. You can see. Really like them. Occasionally somebody will start clapping along and we'll stop saying, can't clap either.
No clapping.
No clapping.
Singing, no clapping.
I did that.
Sit there and drink your beer.
I did that in the Commodore one night. There was this like little 12-year-old girl that was down there with her parents, and she was clapping along. And I stopped and said, "No clapping!" It went all over her.
She was like, "What?"
I thought she was going to cry.
Oh no!
And after the show, I went down. You're our best person. We love you. You're our favorite officer. I was just kidding.
Oh my God, that's funny.
I bought her a beer and she was okay.
It all worked out.
Oh my gosh, too funny. Too funny. How long y'all been in Nashville now?
7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so in so many respects, it seems much longer, and in others, it's like it's hard to believe we've been here 7 years.
Yeah.
And everybody says that as wait time passes.
The way you've just become part of the community here, you must have feel like it's home, right? I mean,
everyone is so welcoming and so encouraging. We have a friend that's just moved to town.
Well, almost everyone.
Almost.
Oh, shut up. Don't be dragging out that dirty laundry. We're right here trying to be all happy and everything. No, but it really is such a welcoming
community. Do I have to separate you? Put you in different rooms?
Really,
yeah. I mean, I'm sorry.
But the thing is, he was saying just yesterday, he said, this is such a welcoming community now. I said, it really is because
Who said
shut up. I'm talking, hush. So, like, you come in and you meet this person, and this says, well, this is so-and-so. Come over here and meet this person and that person. And they're just, and everybody is just like, come on, and we're playing here.
Yeah.
Come on, we'll get you up to do a song. And, you know, and that's exactly how it was for us when we came to town. We were so lucky and so fortunate to meet really great people that were so inclusive.
Now, had you come to town before, like occasionally, just to? check it out? Or?
Well, back in the
Ambush
early
was together,
80s.
we used to book from here, and we used to come into town occasionally. You know. But we didn't come here often because you couldn't make any money here. You know, we made decent money on the road.
Yeah, you know, as a musician, how hard it is to make money playing music in Nashville.
Because there's just so many.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't need to pay.
We didn't play at Gillies in Texas. We didn't certainly play because they wouldn't pay you. You know, they didn't have to. They got great people playing for what they can pay for.
For tips.
Yeah. Florida was that way. There was certain you know, if you got a lot of
Florida pays in sunshine, so right?
Yeah, well, you are getting it from there.
We played in the Mid-Atlantic states, you know, all the way out to Iowa. And we played a lot up north too.
Did you?
But what we do realize is that we were back on the East Coast, not making any money playing music, and now we're in Nashville not making any money playing music. Woo! We have
But you're happier, right?
But we're so much happier,
But we're having
and
fun.
it's a good thing. We're retired. We don't have to worry about that. So
for you, what was the draw to Music City?
Well, we really had it down between Austin, Texas, Nashville, and Asheville, North Carolina.
Beautiful.
And then just kind of looking through our catalog of music and the style that we were heading towards, we just I don't know, Nashville was just the big draw. We talked about Nashville for many years before we ever made the actual move.
I got you.
And it was a great move.
I mean,
for us.
we looked for the best states to retire in. And
Yeah, because we're
We did
old,
too.
you know.
Yeah, me too. And we did the same thing.
no state tax sounded good to us.
No state tax is a big draw, isn't
And
it?
we're in a
Yes.
county that doesn't carry a whole lot of tax, so that's a really good thing too.
I'm in Davidson County,
Yeah,
so it does.
you're paying some taxes here, yeah.
But still less than Cincinnati, where I came from. So I'm happy about that too.
Yeah.
The only American city that starts with a Z.
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. Well, during Oktoberfest it is. It's Oktoberfest Cincinnati. When I first started working on radio there, I'll never forget. I they have these little promo cards that you read, and somebody had wrote Oktoberfest Cincinnati because that's what they call it with Z's. And I thought, well, come on, that's. So I was going
so
Oktoberfest Cincinnati. Come on down. You know. Program director goes, it's Cincinnati. I was like, okay, I thought that was a typo or something, you know, or somebody was trying to be cute, but it's Cincinnati, yeah.
Well, we were real lucky to meet people like you that have been so inclusive and bring us into clubs that you're doing, writers' nights, and that and you meet a whole different group of people when you go into a different club.
Every
It's
different place,
wonderful.
right? Yeah. Everyone has its own little atmosphere, so.
Right.
Yeah. So I'll put in our plug. There's this new place around the corner here in Hermitage where you played recently and just tore it up. A little place called 12 Keys.
12 Keys, great.
And they call themselves, it's Mo and Joan that owns that, and they're wonderful people. A beer joint with a music problem.
Yeah.
It seems to fit what we're
A
talking about
lot of
today.
music problems in Nashville.
A lot of music problems. But people are willing to talk about it, you know.
That's good.
A lot of music psychologists in this town. So, yeah.
That's the reason we're here today. We're trying to get help.
Well, you helped us incredibly. I'd love you to leave us with a song. It's been so good to talk with you and get to know you a little bit better.
Thank you so much.
And I just love what you do. Amazing.
We appreciate
It's
it.
Janet and Charles Cox
Thank
on
you,
the
Dave.
Songwriter
Thank you,
Connection.
Dave Linehan. Thank you so much.
This is a song that a friend of ours took us to see I won't say who it is, but it was somebody who has been on the road a long time.
So I wonder. I wish I knew what the song was.
We
What's
really,
the song?
So we go back to the guitar player knows.
My life was living.
when we were leaving, we went by the radio bus outside that he was driving around, and he had young kids. And to his credit, he had them out there doing in a conga line and stuff. He was doing really well. But I told Jan as we walked by his bus going to, and I had to stand up all night, which I didn't like because
A
there were no
mosh pit
seats.
situation, you know.
So I said, I'm too old to tour. I could not do this anymore. And so from that, this song came.
Which is actually the name of our CD, Too Old to Tour. There's a drunk yelling free bird somewhere in the crowd, but no one can hear him 'cause a fight just broke out. But the music keeps ringing and I keep on singing. Stand by your man. It's a typical Saturday night on the road in a live country band.
It smells like year old beer in here. Smoke hangs in the air. A hillbilly princess in a polka dot dress. Like to know if that's my real hair. My good ear is ringing, but I keep on singing. I'm a rambling man. It's a typical Saturday night on the road in a live country band. We're too old to tour. We're closing that door. In fact, we're gonna slam it, 'cause the cold fact is, damn it, we can't take it no more. We want to keep playing, but like the Beatles, we're just saying we've had enough. This life is too rough, and we ain't gonna tour anymore. I know it might sound like we're getting a little too big for our britches. We're just tired of the fun getting stomped on by a few sorry sons of bitches. And you know who you are. There's a redneck who cusses like an auctioneer. The table of frat boys that can't hold their beer. The girl on the town acting out like a slut. The drunk barstool genius that will not shut up. The fool that shoots in the air and then declares that he's got a gun. He's got a gun. We're tired of this life. It's a man and a wife. We ain't gonna tour anymore. We're too old to tour. We're closing that door. In fact, we're gonna slam it, 'cause the cold fact is, damn it, we can't take it no more. We want to keep playing, but like the Beatles, we're just saying we've had enough. This life is too rough, and we ain't gonna tour anymore. No, we ain't gonna tour anymore. We ain't gonna tour anymore.
Oh, that's great. Well, you know, the Beatles quit touring in their 20s, so, you know,
yeah, well,
you're not that
we're a little
old.
past that. A tad.
Now these days, people come to you, and you are seen all over town, especially at the Hidden Nashville show down on Lower Broadway at the place again.
Whiskey Bench Saloon.
Whiskey Bench Saloon. And all around, Commodore 12 Keys, you see, and who gets top billing? Is it Janet and Charles Cox?
Absolutely,
or
Janet.
Charles and
Janet.
It's
and
Janet.
Janet and,
No, it's Janet.
Janet and
Even
Charles.
even Charles agrees to
Janet
that.
is age
I'm not gonna
before
go there.
beauty.
Okay.
It's age before beauty. So. Oh, and we want to throw in we play at Bobby's Idle Hour. all the
you know-
time. We love Bobby's.
You know, and I wanted to mention that too, because the one song you creeped that in there, and I noticed it right away. You know, people idling. What was it? It was just
They'll idle there for hours.
idle there for hours. It's the only bar on Music Row, and it's been there forever. Well, in different locations,
Right.
Yeah.
but a really cool place, and everybody's graced that stage, including you two a lot.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like our second home, kind of.
is it really? Wow.
Yeah.
That
love it
is
down there.
that is so cool.
We do an informal thing on Wednesdays. We just get in a circle with no
Little
amplification.
guitar pull.
Oh,
And whoever
wow.
wanders
Wednesday
in gets to
afternoons.
play.
Wow.
Yeah, so come on down on a
I would have to
Wednesday.
do that. It's a Wednesday?
Wednesdays, like from 1 to 5.
1 to 5. So before
Like Siska's usually
nice
there.
cold beer, and Gina's behind the bar.
Yeah.
Lizard sometimes comes by.
Lizard comes in.
Lizard.
Yeah.
He's a legend. That's
Absolutely.
awesome.
Lee Raskinay, we get him in there every now and then.
Lee. We're going to try to get Lee on the show here, too. Lee is a legend in this town.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Just a great guy.
One of my favorite people in town.
He really is. Yeah. We'll get to have him on the show here a little bit later on. I'm looking at people that we got coming up. You know, Mark Allen and friends are coming next week on the show, and
that'll be a good one.
When we publish, it'll be a good one. I think
he just played for us yesterday at Whiskey Bend for the Hidden Nashville show.
Yes,
Mark Allen Barnett. He's amazing.
He really is a great performer. He's been on the show in season 1, and I think we're going to write a little bit. We may even do a little old-fashioned Nashville guitar pull and tell you what that's all about.
Nice.
So
That'd be nice.
he's bringing friends. Angie's coming for sure. Angie Jordan. We call her Angelou because she sounds a little bit like Emmylou Harris. So, and then we've got Kim McLean and Eve coming up. Kim's a big hit songwriter. Dave Gibson is coming on the show. We're going to have Sylvia on the show here in a couple of weeks. She had some big hits in the 80s, and blues musician Meg Williams, and so many others. So we want to thank you for joining us, and I hope you'll keep spreading the word about Songwriter Connection. Big thanks to Janet and Charles Cox for joining us today.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you for listening to the Songwriter Connection podcast. Find us on social media at Songwriter Connection. Also, listen to Dave Lanahan's Nashville Connections radio show. It streams live every Friday morning on WOBL and WNOI. Look for us on Facebook and YouTube. See you next time on Songwriter Connection.